You have 48 hours to pay $20,400 in back dues, or we're putting a lien on this dump. Those were the first words out of Karen Pemberton's mouth when she showed up at my grandfather's 1962 cabin. This woman I'd never seen before was demanding money for land that existed decades before her HOA was even a dream. I told her my property was never part of any HOA. She waved some fake paperwork claiming otherwise. When I laughed and said, "Lady, you're crazy if you think I'm paying you a dime," her fake smile vanished. "We'll see about that," she hissed. 2 days later, 3 guys in work boots showed up at 10 p.m. claiming to be HOA security, demanding entry for a property inspection. The stench of cheap cologne and cigarettes filled my porch. I called my cousins. "We're rolling up now." The rumble of 3 Harleys echoed off the trees. Jake, Diesel, and Bear stepped off. Full Army veteran gear. Those fake security guys literally sprinted to their truck, gone in 30 seconds. What would you do? Ever watched bullies run? Let me back up and tell you how this whole nightmare started. My name's Marcus Steele, and 6 months ago I was living in a cramped city apartment, working IT contracts and dreaming of something better. Then Grandpa Eugene passed away and left me his pride and joy, a 1960s log cabin on 2.5 acres of pure heaven. This wasn't just any property. Grandpa bought this land in 1962 for $800 when it was nothing but pine trees and a dirt road. He built that cabin with his own hands, board by board, stone by stone. The smell of cedar still lingered in every room, mixed with decades of wood smoke and the leather of his old recliner that creaked like a ship in a storm. I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Well water, septic system, quarter-mile from the main road, complete independence. The morning mist would roll off the creek behind the cabin, and woodpeckers would drum on the old oak tree like nature's most persistent alarm clock. Then came Karen Pemberton, because apparently even paradise has snakes. Picture a woman in her early 50s who thinks a real estate license makes her royalty. Always dressed in what she calls business casual. Blazers that cost more than most people's rent, driving a white BMW that she parks like she owns the world. Her perfume could choke a horse and her smile could freeze hellfire. Karen lives in Willowbrook Estates, this collection of McMansions that sprouted up in 2018 like mushrooms after rain. 27 identical houses with yards so small you'd need a surveyor to find them. Every mailbox the same shade of beige, every lawn cut to regulation height because God forbid someone express individuality. She became HOA president the day after moving in naturally, you know the type, moves to a new place and immediately wants to redesign it in her own image. Here's the kicker. The original developer went bankrupt before finishing the promised amenities. No community pool, no clubhouse, no fancy entrance gates, just overpriced houses and a massive HOA debt. Karen's been scrambling to collect enough money to avoid complete financial collapse. That's when her greedy eyes landed on my property. See, my cabin sits on prime real estate. Mature trees, creek access, the kind of land that makes developers drool like hungry wolves. In Karen's twisted mind, if she could somehow claim my property belonged to her HOA, she'd solve all her financial problems. The crunch of her heels on my gravel driveway that first morning sounded like a death march for my peace and quiet. "Hi there, I'm Karen Pemberton, president of Willowbrook Estates HOA. We need to talk about bringing your property into compliance." I nearly choked on my coffee. The bitter taste matched my sudden mood perfectly. "Compliance with what?" That's when she pulled out her folder of lies. Doctored boundary maps, fake legal documents, the whole 9 yards. The papers rustled in the morning breeze like autumn leaves, except these were trying to steal